Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning. It's January 4th. It's about 9 o'clock. I know my Trackhawk in the Snow vid just posted. I've had a few people respond to it. So, I know a few things about it. I know it's a little bit too long. I know I probably should have done, some time lapse on it. But I like the songs that were playing, so I just let it through. You can do the slider on your own, but I'll get... it's probably one of the next skills I'll learn is how to do time lapse, so I could do some of those things and show you, put you in the car more, but not make you watch so long. My commute into DC is pretty fun. I get done before the traffic kicks in, and then the last part is really the fun part. And I tried to show it to you, but it was really too snowy. But I have the privilege of driving by the Washington Monument every morning, and that's on my left as I come in on 7th, and then on my right, as I cross over the mall, the National Mall, I have the Washington to my left, and then I have the Capitol Dome to my right. So I'll do a better job of actually maybe stopping and pulling over and showing you that. It's something I've seen every day for 24, 25 years, so I forget how cool it is or what a privilege it is. And some people plan a lifetime vacation to DC to see the things that I get to drive by and park and walk to and even work in. I drive right by the FBI J. Edgar Hoover building, the headquarters building. I drive by it literally right next to me every day. I still have my badge. In fact, let me show it to you. I still have my badge that lets me into the building. I carry that with me. I go in. I don't go in every day, but this badge gives me access to the FBI facilities. And it's a privilege that I forget sometimes, so that's part of the deal. It's weird. I'll tell you another thing I've learned about videos is copyright claims. Like when I put up the Laser Light show from New Year's Eve, and then the commuting one, the songs that are playing on the radio got flags. Like Hong Kong took the video down, and it's just kind of interesting to me. It's all part of the learning process. It's something that, of course, I hear about copyright claims, but to think that a driving vid with the radio, recording it off the air, it's interesting that causes copyright claims. I just didn't expect that. Don't really care. Probably keep doing it, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. The other thing is that the video is woggly, and it's in a mount. The mount's locked down on the dashboard. In fact, you saw it come loose once. So I still got to figure some of these things out. But I just want to show you the Trackhawk, catching it snow legs for the first time. It did awesome. You guys asked a couple of questions. The Trackhawk is all-wheel drive. I don't have to do anything. It's all-wheel drive. And I did pull off the P-Zeros, those summer racing tires, and I have all seasons on there right now. So, because that really is my go-to all-arounder. I love the car. I love driving it, and so to drive it in any weather was important to me. So maybe sometime in April, I'll put the P-Zeros back on, but I don't intend on racing it, so I might just leave them off. We'll see. Not really sure. That's 2-3 months away. So let's talk business for a little bit. There are the snow last night. While I was getting ready to come in today and the drive-in, it made me think about a subject matter that has bothered me for years, and I want to talk to you about it. And that is this concept of you have to act differently to be different. And I know a lot of people look at me and go, wow, I want to be different like you, either through wealth or through the CEO or owning a company or growing it. But you have to act differently to be different. And sometimes that's the part people I think forget is, I had almost 6 inches of snow this morning, and yet I got up, got showered, got into my suit, and got down to DC. And a lot of people still aren't in. I can see through the building here, and most of the people, this building is almost empty right now at 9 o'clock. The government put out a 2-hour delay, and most people say, well, heck, then I don't need to go in for a couple extra hours. They sleep in or take some slow time. And if you act like everybody else, you're going to end up being like everybody else. And I know that's a kind of a jerk thing to say. That's that cold robot Dave that you guys are coming to know and love. But if you want to be different, act differently. And I do. I got up a little bit earlier. It took me 30 minutes longer to drive in today, but I am in the office ready to go. If a client has a problem, I can personally get over and deal with it, even if my staff can't. And so that was just something that it was a physical manifestation this morning of a belief I hold dearly, and that is to be different, you got to go the extra mile. So I was still first in today. I'm one of only 2 or 3 people who've made it into headquarters today. So lead by example, lead from the front. Just keep that in mind. So don't do everything normal. Don't be like everybody else. And then at the end of the day or end of the year, expect to be different than everybody else. So just I would ask you to pull that inside and let it roll around and kind of evaluate your day today, kind of evaluate your week, kind of evaluate your January and say, are you truly operating at the next level, at the highest level you can be? And if you're not, don't judge yourself. Put an action plan in place to make some changes. So if you find yourself asking, why am I always the first one in, or why am I always here late, or why am I always the one working a weekend, or why? Because you're trying to take the next step. You're trying to set yourself apart, you know, and taking extra action leads to extra results, and those results, that results-based conversation we had the other day, is what will make you great. So the only other thing I really want to talk about, I put that huge video out on the driving side, and it was too long, and I know it, but for here, I want to keep this one a little bit shorter today. So the other thing I want to really put out there is we talked a little bit about spending behavior, spending plans of kind of the millionaire that's talking to you, right? So one of them is that I started very early, is when we had success here at DHA, I didn't take the money home. I reinvested it in the company. And I know a lot of small business owners with 10 people or 15 people, they pay themselves $1 million, or they drain the company to the point where I call them, they are financially anemic. They're weakening themselves, they're weakening their company. They're not putting money away for that rainy day or that opportunity. And I would say it's important to put things away, not for a rainy day, not when things are bad. I put it away for when things are good. And when you need an extra surge to get something done, to write that extra proposal, to recruit more people than you need, or whatever the analogy that works for you in your office, right? Part of what you have to do is you guys have to be intelligent enough to listen to this stuff and ask questions, and then listen to this stuff and be able to translate it into the world that you know. There's no way I can do that. I speak from my life and from my experience. And so for me, as we made money here, I didn't take it home. I kept a pretty low salary for the first, 15, 18 years. I kept a pretty low salary to the point where my attorney was laughing at me, where my accountant was laughing at me. And what I would do with that money instead was hire my next person, and I would build up the corporate infrastructure. We eventually rented a space. I eventually hired a proposal writer. I hired an HR manager, and then a finance person, and now we have 3 finance people, and we have 3 recruiters, and we have a front office manager, a front desk person. We have about 12 people here at headquarters now, and that's a substantial investment. And so I would just ask you, so what does your company need? Rather than you take it home and spending it on a car or spending it on your home or on a big vacation, if you left it in the company, what could you do with it? And so I would tell you that in my life, taking money that I could have taken home and reinvesting it has actually made my company able to take the next step. Sometimes you have to upgrade your infrastructure, you have to buy new computers, or you have to buy more storage space, or you have to buy faster laptops, or you have to refresh the old piece of crap that somebody's using. Hiring a business development person, putting some marketing out there, maybe putting an online specialist, maybe a social media specialist, whatever it is, where they're paid maybe part-time and they're only partially dedicated to you, but what would it take to get a dedicated asset working full-time with no other prioritization than what you need and your company needs them to do? How powerful that is to have assets, performing expert people who are dedicated to growing your organization under your leadership. That is a very powerful thing, but you need money to do that. So just really take those things to heart. Act differently to be different, and part of that is don't spend the money that your company makes. Spend the money and back inside the company. Leave yourself a cushion, get some money in the bank. But if you're going to spend the money, don't spend it at home. Don't spend it on you. Spend it on the future you by spending it on this year's company. It pays dividends, more so than any other investment. You know, we talked about some of my investment decisions yesterday, but the biggest one, the one that's got millions, probably tens of millions invested that I could have here at home, is now in this company. And that's why we're over 300 people. That's why we're over 40 million in sales. That's why we have this beautiful headquarters facility. That's why we have staff of about 12 people that do nothing but make this company better, and make this company bigger, and make this company more profitable. 12 people dedicated to nothing but improving this company, and 300 more out earning revenue and taking care of clients. You don't do that, in my opinion, without investing money. I don't know what else to say today. So we're coming up on 12 minutes. I think we'll leave this one short. The subscribers continue to come in. The questions continue to come in. I'm dedicated to trying to reach out to everybody who comments or everybody who asks questions. I try to get back to them directly, and then some of them I try to answer here, because I think sometimes your question will benefit, or the answer and the question will benefit many people. And so sometimes I just choose to reply, I'm going to answer this question in the vlog, but hopefully everybody sees that if you participate, I'm getting back with you, because that's important to me. If you're taking the time out of your life to watch these and to participate and ask questions and make comments, I want to do you the respect of getting back to you. That's very important to me. So here it is. It's about 10 after 9, 9:15, and now we've had some car content. We've had some business and life content. Yeah, it's a pretty good morning for me. So have a great Thursday, and we'll talk again later. Goodbye, everybody.